The hardest part is never actually letting go. It's not rushing to replace what you just released. That silence you feel right after, the gap you desperately want to cover with a new plan, a new relationship, a new distraction, that itch to prove that you're okay by jumping into something else, that's panic filling the silence. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 3 traps that people often fall into after letting something go, and how to avoid them so you don't collapse your fresh start by trying to fill the gap with noise. Letting go really is not the real test. The real test is what you do with that space after the fact. Because silence is not emptiness. It's actually evidence that you've moved on from something and that you've created space from what wasn't serving you anymore. And if you resist that urge to fill the gap with noise or something similar, that's when your signal starts to speak the loudest. We are hardwired, especially in Western civilization, to think that no plan or silence means danger. When you would let go of something, especially something that was a big part of your life, it makes a lot of sense and is a very natural response for you to want to distract yourself, prove yourself, or fill the space. This is like how when people get dumped or dump someone, it's such a natural, common thing to find a rebound. Here are the 3 traps that can happen. The first is the rebuild trap. This is rushing into something new without actually letting yourself become or fully land in this new chapter or iteration of your being. So you might rush from one opportunity or one relationship or whatever right into the next. The second is the distraction trap. This is exactly what it sounds like. Just simply filling silence with scrolling, venting, busy work, or again, new relationships, new distractions, going out and partying, whatever. Anything that just takes you away from the discomfort of what the stillness and the quiet bring up. And the third is the proving trap. This could look like over-explaining your exit just to feel less alone. It could be trying to seem like you're okay, trying to look like you've bounced back from something faster than you actually did. It's performance. Hard endings happen, and it's such a human thing, especially again in our culture, to want to avoid the truth of that, the pain that's in there, the fear, the discomfort. We are hardwired to want to resist that. But it's actually sitting in that space that allows us to move into the next tier of consciousness and our existence and our being. That is where becoming happens. It doesn't happen by rushing in, panic filling that void, and moving right into the next thing. That's not how we integrate. That's not how we grow, and that's not how we heal and build ourselves back up when we get knocked down. If you are hurt, let yourself be hurt. If you are grieving, let yourself grieve. Be brutally honest with where you are. You cannot go anywhere without actually owning your experience right now. And maybe even before in the past, if you've been avoiding all of that for a while. You have to kind of collect all your shit before you move forward. Because otherwise you're running around with your shit all over the place, unaccounted for. That's not integration. That's fragmentation. That's how we leak power. It's how we sabotage our lives and create suffering that's not necessary. Choose the discomfort now. Because if you choose the discomfort now and you sit with where you actually are and you own it and you embrace, or you do the best that you can every single day to learn how to embrace this silence, this gap, over time you will start to adjust. It's not going to happen immediately, but it will happen incrementally. You will eventually become something new, and then one day, not too far in the future, you will look back and say, thank God that ended. Oh my God. Where would I even be if that didn't end? I promise you that this is on the other side of integration and of true healing, the real kind of healing, the kind of healing that comes from actually honoring the grief and the discomfort and the pain and all of it, and the fear, and eventually letting that shape us into something even more real and honest and magnetic and powerful. So let's correct a couple common misconceptions. Silence is not emptiness at all. Silence is our doorway to source energy. And that is pure power. That is magnetism. That is level up territory. The real kind of level up. The kind that changes our lives from the inside out. Space is not absence, it's not lack. It triggers the scarcity mindset. Yes, something may have ended. There's no loss. There's a shift that happens, and there's space that's created. It's a portal into abundance, it's a portal into alignment, and it's clarity. Because with space, with the removal of whatever's not serving us anymore, whatever's keeping us at a lower vibration or a less honest version of ourselves, that space is going to offer clarity into what is actually aligned. And we can't get that clarity when we are still feeding into whatever the old is. Stillness is not stagnation, quite the opposite. Again, stillness is the most fertile soil. This is where source energy lives. And it is the only way that your field recalibrates. Those cords need to be cut. You're gonna have to experience loss or a release or a letting go of these things, because that's when you come back and you call your energy back. That's how we start to align with whatever the new vibration is. New people and relationships, new environments, new jobs, new opportunities and projects and all of that. If you hold on to what's old or you try to fill it with something that's still at that lower vibration, you're preventing that recalibration. So once again, the gap doesn't mean nothing's happening. It's literally the opposite. It's the space where everything happens from. Or in other words, it means that the right things finally will be able to happen because you're finally entering that space. Here's a little practice I want you to do this week. If you feel the urge to add something to fill the space, take 3 deep breaths before acting. 3 really deep and conscious belly breaths. I also want you to get into the habit of reframing. So rather than asking yourself, what's next? Or who else can I talk to? Or what else can I do with my time? Or where else can I throw myself? I want you to get curious. Ask yourself, what's clear right now? What's coming up for me right now? What's in this space right now if I was to be really honest with myself? And can I sit here for a second with that? And maybe even do a little micro audit. Name one silence that you've been afraid to sit in and maybe even resisting a little bit lately. And see if you can let it stay empty for like 24 hours, just 24 hours. Whatever it is, you know what it is. Give yourself that space and sit with the discomfort. If it's uncomfortable, that's how you know you've hit the jackpot. If it's boring, that's how you know you've hit the jackpot. I promise you that what you have let go of or what just let go of you doesn't need a replacement. It needs space. You don't need to rush into a plan. You don't need to rush into distractions. You are safe. And the most magnetic, powerful, inspiring thing that you can do after letting go is nothing. Silence isn't the enemy of your progress. It's the best evidence that it worked. What's one silence you've been scared to sit in? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear where you are in the world and what's going on in your life. I read all my comments and I'm here for you. I really am. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss any more content like this. I hope you have a beautiful day or night and I will talk to you soon. Bye.